Well, I guess we know a little bit more about you with that song. Parlotones in the Bing Lounge. Welcome back to Portland, guys.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. So many good things have been happening for you, just one after another. It's crazy. I mean, I know the road is really your friend right now. That van you have to be, that bus you have to be driving all across America. But I just wanted to give the short list. It's very potent. You were just in New York earlier this month for the CMJ Music Marathon, and you were listed as the band to watch. You were at South by Southwest this spring. You're the opening act for Coldplay for 2 giant shows in South Africa. Their first time back in so long, and you got to open these huge shows. Very exciting time. Can you catch a breath at all?
Not really.
And who would want to?
No, like you said, it's exciting. I think that's what we've always dreamed of. When we first started out as a band, the dream was to travel the world and spread our music to as many people as possible. And the fact that we actually doing it is awesome.
How did it feel when Coldplay called up and said, "Hey, guys"?
It was great. I mean, they've kind of been the soundtrack to our lives, over the last 14 years. So to hear, them actually personally ask us to open for them, it was a great honor. And it was obviously a great moment to meet them and to share a stage.
I wanted to just mention a couple of other things about Parlotones, which really kind of speaks to where you guys are from. You were part of that World Cup kickoff celebration in 2010. My favorite thing about it is that rock opera you just recently streamed online. And it's a kind of a thing that you do it for a charity of your choice. And you went for a charity that helps rhino poaching. And that really tells me you are from a different kind of a land.
Well, it doesn't help the poaching.
Yeah.
It's,
right.
anti-poaching.
Against the poaching, yeah. And that tells me that we still have a thing or two to learn about you and South Africa for that matter. So it's great to have your music here. I was thinking about this as I was listening to your that last record from 2010, that it's very much a pop record, and I think for us, we're used to having South African music sort of imported, and it has a kind of a political feel to it. Not that your music doesn't, but it does sound very pop. I wonder what it was that you guys grew up listening to, and what were you influenced by? Coldplay, you say, for one, but...
Yeah, I think, it goes back sort of earlier stages, bands like R.E.M., The Smiths, The Cure, and Radiohead was a big influence. And I think because Radiohead was such a big influence, we got into bands like Coldplay and, bands that sort of sounded like Radiohead. And, I mean, now that we could speak for hours about our influences, there are so many. But I think those are the core bands.
Right, and I like how music is becoming so global now. And you can do so much through websites and Twitter and Facebook and that whole thing. And you're streaming concerts, so you really get to know what you're doing. So a new record in the works.
Yes.
Yeah. When you finally get home.
Well, we've already recorded 15 songs. We sort of spent the month of August laying those tracks down. And
so you were home then, yeah?
Yes, we were home, yeah. And then we go back in December, we get back home, and we'll spend another 2 weeks in studio, hopefully get 10 songs done, and then we'll have a big body of work to choose from and probably narrow it down to an album of 14 songs or so.
Yeah, really continue riding that Parlotone wave. How was Doug Fir last night?
Awesome venue.
Yeah, it's a very Portlandish kind of place, isn't it? Don't you think that...
I suppose my knowledge of Portland isn't vast.
I can tell you that it is.
It's very Portlandish.
very, very Portlandish. And you're on the road tonight, heading back, or on the road and going down to San Francisco, and the tour goes on. It's a pleasure having you all here in the Bing Lounge, and let's get back to some of the music. The Parlotones in the Bing Lounge. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.